I saw that, Joe Schmidt. Right, folks, quite the aurora display we've had, huh? Look at that. Some amazing, amazing shots. And some other amazing, amazing shots are ones like this one. You guys see what's going on in this shot right here? Oh, come on, give me some focus. There's an eye and a nose and this little crinkled mouth, little beard, and horns and pointed ear, much like this cloud that I captured here. Can you guys see this cloud right here? Okay. Does it resemble this at all to you guys? Hello, give me focus. Come on now. Can you see what was captured in the aurora? Okay, these are paranormal events. Okay, you guys, and in them are captured these entities. And this entity. I think we all know what's going on here. Why is this? Yeah, keep playing games with me. I didn't want to be revealed very well, but hopefully you guys can see that. Alright, so it's amazing stuff captured in our auroras, alright? So let's get on over to our solar report and get the headset on here and get you guys all dialed in for some Planet X stuff, alright? And all those auroras are caused by these Planet X type objects interacting with the sun, causing CMEs. All this energy comes earthbound, right? We know that, so that's what causes the auroras. And we'll let this loop play for a couple of times here. Most of my audience has the trained eye and can see exactly what's going on right here, huh? That's a pretty blatant display. And this one's popping out in slow motion. Look how slow and long it's taken. It's like constipated or something, and it's having problems passing by the sun. Because they usually pop out and fly right on out of there, right? Look how hard this one's just holding on and just, it's trying to drag out, or as it's dragging out, you see these CMEs still going over it. Okay, because material is going out faster than this object is moving out. Okay? And you can see the little bow shock that creates on the front of it. As it comes out, you can see buildup right there on what would be the back side of the object. It would be the front side of the solar wind hitting it. Okay, so the back side of this object is getting pelted by the solar wind and causing a plasma dam there, or a bow shock. Okay, so we're going to start freeze framing it and start going through it frame by frame like we do. Okay, and first of all, I need to pull back a little bit and zoom back out so we can use the instrument. 125 it was. All right, there we go. Okay, so here we are. We're going to pause it right at the beginning of this event. There's something else going on down below there too. So first you can see we have the sun reacting to this object. It's still back behind the occulter, but you can see this flow spitting and sputtering as this object takes its time getting out from behind the occulter. All right, so here we go. We're going frame by frame. Here's our first little readings, and you can see it's just the flow that's going around it. Here's our first kind of frame where it peaks from behind. Let's go to that very first frame because it had a lot of good stuff in it, right? Nope, it's not the frame I wanted. Right there. Okay, I'm going to zoom in on this, pull it over for you guys, tint it out and everything. All right, I don't really need to tint it out. You guys can see it. But we're just going to do something a little bit better. All right, bingo. I mean, it's not hard to spot. And you can see the flow that's already going around it as it's passing, as it's pulling out from behind the occulter. The sun is down here, okay? So it's not touching the sun. This is the occulter of the camera. The sun is actually probably about this size right here in the middle of the occulter, okay? So this object is off of the sun, but it is grabbing plasma and sucking it out, or sucking it off the sun, ripping it off the sun. You can see it streaming by. You see these white streaks going by here. Let me tint this out a little bit. See these dominant white streaks right here, and then up above, you can see the flow. When I tint like this, you can really see the flow going around this object, okay? And now that we've seen the object, I'm just going to go ahead and put it back into motion. We're going to slow it down though a little bit, so I don't have to frame by frame it. We can play it and zoom in, and I can tint it out at the same time. So here we go. All right, you can see the round circular shape to our object right there, the instrument reacting to it. All right, here it comes, boom. See how it causes the explosion? Then, as it comes out, it causes this slow motion CME and the flow that goes around it. I want to try, on the next pass, I want to try going like this a little bit more. See it now? There, it's much better. Did you guys see it that time? I gotta get it just right. This screen likes to bounce back down after I get it just right. Alright. There it is, right there. Okay? So, there's your Planet X object, type object, a stellar core, burned out core of either a planet or a star that's caught around the much bigger stellar core type object that we call Nemesis. Anyways, that snuck by the other day. Oh shoot, that was probably due. Ooh, maybe tomorrow. I'm gonna have to go back 3 days and we'll look for what to expect tomorrow. because I forgot that sucker snuck past and didn't even set off a CME. We saw it ghosted in the background. Remember that one? And that was about 3 days ago, so we better go check. Anyways, this one's clearly obvious. What helps is the flow. The asymmetrical flow asymmetries that go around this object paint the target. It's like sticking a stick in a flowing river. This stuff is material, it's plasma. The solar wind is hot gases that, are flowing away from the sun in all directions. And if you were to stick a stick in it, it would create a wake or an eddy or a V shaped bow type shock cone shaped wake. Well, these round objects are making a V-shaped type wake. They have a frontal, or the back side of the object, but the front of where the impact is happening. So you see the plasma building up on the back side of the object, the front side of the wind right here. You see it crackling and popping to life, the instrument reacting to it, because there's a spheroid object right there that's interfacing with the sun, extracting plasma with its magnetic field every time it interacts with the sun. And it's not just this one. There are multiple objects per day. Okay, it used to be just one, and everybody thought, oh, there's Planet X. No, it's the whole alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, every planet X, Y, and Z. Oh, by the way, did you guys notice how they pulled down that live stream where I used the cartoon? Yeah, they pulled that one down, so it's okay. It's okay. I'm still here to fight on, so we will continue without cartoons. Because that wasn't for children, that cartoon, right? Even though it was meant for children. And I don't think they liked me making fun of their top secret jargon. They like to think they have magic eyes. Well, I got you and me are the ones with the magic eyes, aren't we? Because I don't see anybody else pointing this shit out, do you? Nope. Nope. Anyways, I will continue to do this as long as God is willing. Okay? I gotta keep bringing this stuff to you guys because it's just that important. All right, and this affects the sun. All right, the sun is getting weak. Every time it rapes the sun like this, that's a lot of energy that never goes back to the sun. It never returns. It forever goes out into space. This thing just got charged up. And let me explain these stellar cores to you a little bit. Imagine it's super depleted of energy. If you took a battery and stripped it down to zero, right, and it had zero charge, then you took that battery and you stripped it even more and you went into negative territory. That copper wiring or whatever inside the battery that holds the charge, that copper would change phase into a different material that is shy of electrons and protons. Okay, it's dark material. It doesn't reflect light. All it wants to do is absorb light, electrons and photons and protons. Okay, it's super depleted. It wants to reignite. It was probably a little burning star at one time, got stripped by Nemesis, and now it's just this core that orbits Nemesis in its little system, and when our sun goes by it, or it goes by whatever, these little guys that are out on the outer fringes of Nemesis's orbit interact with our sun, and here's one of them right there. They're little moons, stellar core moons of a bigger stellar core called Nemesis. I pointed it out to you. Yes, our poor sun, it's our poor son, just like our poor son Jesus, who suffered mightily on the cross for us. And there's a lot more than just being crucified. He was tortured. I showed you guys the 11 secret tortures that they performed on the man. And there's other stuff too that's like forbidden to talk about, homosexual stuff like that, that is not allowed in the Bible, that people rape and yeah, I said it. Anyway, we're getting back to this because this is just the one object, okay? Now, as we zoom out, that's our object, our main object for today. And this one's going slow, all right? So it's moving slow. This one won't interact in 3 days now, will it? No, 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 no. That one's going to take a lot longer till it passes behind the Earth, which will give us time to get, more this direction in front of it, okay? So that thing has a pretty strong magnetic field. Agreed? Do we all agree that this has a strong magnetic field? All right. And the CME, whether the CME hits us early, of course it's going to, because it's going to pass right over this. See, the shock wave is already heading out. And where's the object? Way back here. Yeah. So this is going to spark a bunch of other CMEs. You see it has. As it moves slowly out, it sparks this one. That's 1, 2, 3, the big one, 4, 5, there's 6. All right, every time those little X's and pulses light up, that's another CME. That's more plasma coming off the sun, interfacing with the object. Okay, we're talking dark matter. This is why it can't be seen. Okay, they know there's extra matter out there in the universe that can't be accounted for. It's called dark matter. Well, they're all splitting atoms and looking under microscopes. It's right here in your face, right next to the sun. Dark matter is not an atom or a molecule. Dark matter is a condensate. It condenses, and the bigger it gets, the more gravity it has. The bigger its gravity field gets, then it can suck in more. It's like a vampire. It just keeps eating and devouring more. It takes a lot for this thing to reignite. It takes more than just to pass by the sun to reignite, right? It's been doing, this one's probably made several passes. And each time it causes this, it absorbs energy, and one of these times, when Nemesis gets too close, it's going to suck the sun dry, and it'll ignite, and the sun will go up. Or something vice versa. There's a lot that could happen. Anyways, here's clearly our next object moving out nice and slow. This one's on purpose. This one's saying, hey, look at me. I'm right here. You can see me. I'm taking my sweet ass time. I'm leaving this big ass wake so you can see that I'm this big stick in the river, this big stick in the mud. It's poking up, causing this wake in the flow of the river, right? Okay? There it is. Clear as a bell. And some kind of ship or something going in through there too. But we will get to that stuff later. Oh, that's something else I did an earlier show about our UFOs captured in the aurora. And hopefully some of you guys are here for that. That will be tonight's gem. All right. The other little event was just down south here of the sun. Okay, there goes our main event. There was a blossom down here. Where'd it go? Right here. There's another object that probably caused that. It's really faint. It's not worth really reporting on. So that was today, the, April 25th, 2023. Okay. Maybe we should go to stereo A real quick before we get out of here. Nope, we don't have it. Never mind. All right, on to our next instrument. And tint it back. Come on, you. There we go. Not much to see here. The sun is flatlining. It is weak. It is below sea level. We're going to zoom in anyway just to see how weak the sun has been lately. Okay. Now, Now do you see this green line is the C floor? That's the floor of the C band, okay? This is M class, that's X class, so this is C class. This is B class, all right? Usually we're up here. In this middle zone, that's normal, where the sun likes to be, is in the middle here, firing off little C and little M class flares, okay? We are below the seafloor right now, and the sun is struggling to come back to life. The big event that we had set off this one tiny little spike. That would usually cause an X flare. But now the sun is so weak that when it does, it's just barely a C class flare. And then you see after that, the sun doesn't like it and it reacts by getting really weak. And it struggles to get up just to the seafloor. All right? So, pray for our sun too. The sun's struggling too. It's being attacked by these objects and it's getting weaker. All right? Thank God we're not seeing these big, huge dropouts like that. Thank God that wasn't the sun doing that. That was shit happening to me and the satellite doing its thing, being eclipsed by the Earth as well. So, if we see one of those dropouts without that eclipse happening, we're in serious trouble. Okay? Thank God it was just that. It is sad about the sun, but you can pray for the sun too. Okay? Give it strength. He gives us strength. Anyways, we got to back out of this to go back to use our report here some more. Excuse me. I'm just recovering from bad tour. Hardest one I've ever done. 400 hours. Full-on brutal assault is not fun. Oh, and I thought it was over. Was I wrong? Only to be lulled into relaxation to be sabotaged. Here's our roars, okay? And they're green and coming back to like healthiness again. I don't want this screen flash to fool you. They're just green, okay? Even though it's a little bright. Why is that? Tonight. Alright, well, my bad. Anyways, they're just regular green, but they are strengthening again. We have another impulse of energy coming in. You can tell when this impulses are really hitting is by how much this flares up, right? Excuse me. This energy hits the ionosphere, gets directed to the poles right here. Okay, goes down through the core, or down through the poles, gets directed to the core. The core heats up and expands and causes it to screech. Like, whoopsie, is that the right one? No. Causes it to screech, like here on the Schumann, if we can get that to pull up. All right, like these white impulses on the Schumann. This is the sun. This is the Earth's heartbeat at 7.8 hertz. Okay, on the Schumann resonance here. And as those waves come in, we absorb them. That aurora, all right. All this gets collected up to the North Pole, gets diverted down to the core. The core heats up and expands into the shell that can't expand outward, so it expands back down inward onto the shell, and they grind on each other and create these harmonic screeches that are shot off of the surface of the planet. They hit the ionosphere and bounce back down, and these echoes are picked up by the Schumann resonance here, okay? And that's what they're picking up. That's what they're watching is the 7.83 green line going across. All of a sudden, they started picking up this stuff, and they're like, whoa, what's going on? Well, what's going on is that's the core and the shell grinding together. Anyway, here, we came out of our grinding session. I was watching this session so closely because I was super scared with how big the wave energy we got that we might have a core lock event. But we didn't. As we come out the backside, you can see we've had this nice, quiet green period. And I just want you to see that That green line is strong and vibrant, okay? A little R&R, a little small attack, but it's nothing too bad right now. That's a screech right there to the core, just like a quick pulse of the brakes. I liken it to having bad brakes where you metal on metal, they grind. Well, that's what this is, metal on metal. So the grinding sensation, or that grinding sound, that harmonic screech, emanates from the ground. It goes upward and outward, just like the plasma coming off the sun in every direction, right? Well, when it does that, it eventually hits the ionosphere, bounces back down, and that's what this does, is record the echoes. This is the echocardiograph of the heart of the planet, is what it is. An echocardiograph of the heart of the planet. Okay? And it had a little core lockup vent here. That's a pretty good screech. It used to be we could have these screeches last for 24 hours. I saw one that was almost an entire day long. But the sun came out of it, or the earth came out of it fine. Well, now we're in a state where we had a core reversal back on January 11th, and since then the core is going in reverse while we still spin forward. I call it forward in reverse. Eventually, the magma will catch up to the core, spinning in reverse. That turbulence in the magma will roil the magma underneath, causing earthquakes, volcanoes. That's the point we're at right now. We're in the roiling of the magma stage, and that's why these volcanoes are coming to life. That's why the earthquakes and stuff, because we have a core issue, okay? And it's still pumping, thankfully, but it's pumping in reverse. And this won't last forever, okay? Eventually we're going to have a reversal, okay? And at this point, let's just say we will take any kind of event like this and we can come out the backside still pumping nice and strong. I will take that as a thank you, God, for answered prayers. When I see stuff like that, I pray for stuff like this. So when I see these, I just automatically say thank you, because that's what I interpret this as, is His mercy, really. When you really see and understand what's going on, you will see His mercy on display in these instruments, I swear. And also other, excuse me, other indicators of our sun activity. Let's just say it that way. Okay, on to our next instrument. Actually, back to this one because we were jumping out of line, Brian. Back out of this because I want to come over to CME Tracker and open that bad boy up and see how bad they've been. Oh, actually, they're being good now. Look at this. We got real-time raw data, and our CME, boom, earthbound again. Boom. Let me back out of this. So, which I need to see the day at what this is reporting on. So, it's saying the one on the 24th? I wish I could slow this down a little bit. I think this might be the same one that we looked at last night. Because it's going south of the Earth. Yeah, that's the same one we reported on last night. They haven't refreshed this latest one. But regardless, we still have this one from last night that's earthbound again. Like I said, all these objects are coming here to Earth. They ain't going. They're here for the big show. Anyway, let's back out of this. Boom, boom, boom. Anything else I want to report on out of this thing? Oh. Gotta back out of that too. Here's another pretty shot. Nothing like the shots that we just saw. And wait until you see the UFOs captured in it. Oh, if you haven't seen my earlier stream. Oh, we don't need to look at this instrument. It doesn't really have. It has events on it, but it's just boring to explain. Okay, we're moving on. We did look at the Schumann already. Okay, came out the backside of that. Let's go over to null school here. And we're taking a look at our polar vortex because we've had this change of seasons, okay? And our polar vortex has gone through quite a bit this year, and now it's and it was, nice and big and circular here, and it spread out and got weak. Then we had this vortice start off of this branch off the vortex. It grew and grew and grew over China and over Russia here, okay? It's spinning backwards, spewing stuff back off of the Pacific. Where are we here? Oh, now it's shifted. It was over here. Now it's shifted. Now it's way over here, deeper into Russia, the middle section of Russia. Okay, do you see this, you guys? It's shifted. And now it seems to be splitting here. So what was our new dominant reverse spinning, our backward spinning polar vortex is now branching off and creating another. It appears to be making another subvortice over here. And we'll see. We'll see. It's not very organized, but nah. This is still our main vortex. This is our main polar vortex, you guys. Off kilter of the Earth, rotating backwards. That's a sign that our core is rotating backwards right there, you guys. I'm willing to bet a lot that this new polar vortex rotating backwards off kilter. Here, let me go to the top of the Earth. I'm going to put my arrow right on the top of the Earth, okay? That's the very geographic North Pole. That's where the axis spins from, okay? It's not the electromagnetic North Pole, but it is the geocentric pole where everything rotates around this axis at the tip of that arrow. Now, this vortex, our polar vortex, is offset from it. It's supposed to be going around it, that's supposed to be the middle. So it's offset and it's rotating counterclockwise or clockwise. It should be rotating counterclockwise. You see all this flow going around the side of the planet that used to be our polar vortex is going counterclockwise, right? Our new subpolar vortex, new dominant one, is rotating the wrong way, isn't it? I'm not the one directing the winds on this instrument. Okay, let me pull back a little bit so you can get a little better perspective. Let's pray that something happens and this doesn't get stronger and continue, because we have a backward rotating polar vortex right now. And then we're going to go down to the southern hemisphere and look what's going on down here. We're in the middle of transition season. Theirs should be disrupted and not as strong like this. Look how strong their vortex is. It's almost like something is underneath the planet. Remember, we're having that object pass underneath. So we see this organization, our planet, reacting to the objects passing to the southern hemisphere. Remember when I told you, we'll see one to the northern hemisphere and we'll see one to the southern? Well, here's what happens. We see stuff going by the south, okay? Then when we see stuff pass by the northern hemisphere, it disrupts our polar vortex, doesn't it? And causes what? Stuff to go backwards. Remember when I was telling you about lists and to watch for stuff, weather moving backwards? And why did we have that list? Because we were witnessing that on other planets. Do you remember in the cartoon when Porky pointed out, all we have to do is follow those planets and it'll lead us to planet X, right? What he's talking about is follow what happens to Mercury, what happens to Mars, what happens to Earth, Venus, all the way out, Jupiter, every single planet. And I gave you that report, and I gave you that list that came from Ben from Suspicious Observers. Okay? That was a list of planetary effects that they are witnessing. So that's how the list got created. It wasn't me. That came from, like, Ben and the science crew, right? So I made a list out of their findings as to what to look for on this planet, didn't I? Yes, we all did. Hopefully you guys did. Or you paid attention in class while I made the list and read it off to you. And one on the thing on the list was backwards weather. And there's your backwards polar vortex. Alright, another interesting thing about this instrument is we can go over to the chemicals, and I want to check out our SO2 emissions. That is sulfur dioxide, folks. The rotten egg gas comes off of magma, okay? And there's pressure underneath. Thank you for the comment in the section, in the chat. Thank you. The pressure underneath is pushing this gas up and out of the way first, because underneath is lava that's going to come up, and this is coming out through the cracks, the pores, the perforations in the crust, okay? It's not perfectly watertight. There's little seams that work zigzags up through the crust and come out at a little spot, and they all come together, and then pressure gets diverted 4 ways and out 4 different canals, and then you got 4 little roots or little blossom areas, you know? Just close your eyes and picture it running underground like little veins, okay? And here's half the country bleeding out. Okay, a lot of pressure is being pushed up underneath the eastern half of the country. It's pushing out all this gas. All right. I don't report on this part. I always just kind of let it sit there and let you guys take a peek at your part of the country, because at this point, if I were to voice what I want to report on this half, I'd probably be hunted down and thrown in jail. But speaks volumes, doesn't it, folks? Okay. What I do like to do is come in over here on the Bay Area, because this is the West Coast. I know people here. I was born and raised in California. Ew, I had to admit it. In Tahoe, though, so not down there. But we still have this bubble of pressure above the North Bay, okay? Still potential earthquake hazard in this area, okay? You can see how it's kind of spreading and going up the valley now. This is Tahoe right here. So in between Bay and Tahoe is the Sacramento Valley, okay? And it's starting to have its little sites blossom, isn't it? Do you guys see them? I can't go in too close. You got to be back out a little bit to see these new sites that are forming here in California. And what's going on with this gray circle, or green circle? Oh, okay, never mind. Get it out of there. So as we go down in California, you can see we got quite the mess going on. Okay, here's our spot up by our fulcrum point, right at the California Oregon border, Crescent City area. Okay, that's pressure that's coming in up by the geysers. Well, the geysers are a little more here. This actually, the geysers area has calmed down. So as we pull back out, over here by Salt Lake City is this little bloom. BC, they quieted down a bunch. This whole place was starting to go glowing. It still is glowing, actually, but not as bright or not as hard as it was the other day. I think we're getting a little lift. In fact, we saw the lift right here. There's the lift in activity right there. So the Earth is taking a breath right now. That's why I'm reporting right now, because I just got a break. I finally got a... I'm not going to say it, because I'll jinx it, and I'll be right back in there. Anyways, I got to get finished, so I can get right back in there. Let's move on. You can see a lot of gas coming out from underneath China. A lot of sulfur gas coming out of there. Saudi Arabia up into Europe, even parts of Russia, all this area has their gas. Only place is like right here in the middle of the Sahara that doesn't have it, but down at the southern part they're getting it now. Okay, we come over to South America, not in the rainforest so much, but up the Amazon and down the down the coast, the west coast of South America. All right, here at this focal point, you can see our concentration spot and all these different individual sites. These are all just individual sites. They're all emitting sulfur dioxide. And a couple of years ago, the that's it. BP Earthwatch, or yeah, I think it was BP Earthwatch, reported there's a couple of these little blossoms here in California. It was like on the coast. There's a couple little pop-ups, and the whole world stopped and oh my god! And now it's like there's nothing happening. But look what's going on. I don't even get it. But Oahu's still spewing some. My main concern right here. You know where we need to go, and why I report on this is because of this island right here at Java. We still have a lot of pressure coming up underneath this place, and it's all being dispersed at this place. Right at the volcano, right, we're having earthquakes on volcanoes on land and underwater, and earthquakes all here. Remember, I told you this upper island here is starting to light up too, and start to see the color in it now. There we go. See how it's kind of filling in, and this is where we're having those quakes out here on this ridge. So now that we have this gas under our belt, it's time we undo the button and release the gas and do the earthquake report. Alright, here we go. I'm going to search around real quick. I haven't even looked at this yet to see if we have any deep quakes first. 4.5193. I was telling you, watch out for New Zealand having a quake, right? And what did they have? A 5.2 today at 23. So, and containing your laughter is kind of hard sometimes, too. The giggles, everybody ever get the giggles in class? And you're like, oh no, the teacher's going to hear me. And then it makes it even worse. All right. So I was telling last night how this pressure goes into the system, right? It goes into the system, but it can also travel down this way, right? And I said, look out, because I saw a little quake up here. I see it starting to go towards New Zealand, and I know why it's traveling down there. And lo and behold, what did New Zealand have? Yes. Can you guys see this? And I'm not blowing smoke. Well, I am, but not in that place. Okay. So 5.2 at a depth of 23, and sure enough, where? New Zealand, just like I was saying. And they're not over yet. It's not over for them yet. It's going to keep creeping and hit the other part of the island. See, look at this. They have a problem because they live on two tectonic plates. Do you see this? Two tectonic plates go right through their island. All right, so they have a lot, and they're right down the street from the deep earthquake spot. So, oh, thank you. I'm trying to keep my sense of humor. It's the only thing I have left. I have no doctors. I have no meds. I have no help whatsoever. Just nothing but opposition. Every single place I go, every single thing I do is nothing but opposition. It's the hardest thing to ever have to deal with in your life. Trust me, you don't want. I pray it doesn't happen to my worst enemy. I see what's happening to me because I am I'm a terrible person. I am a sinner. I deserve the punishment I'm getting. Look at these two little pinpoint pimple type um, volcanoes, or vents. For lack of a term, this is a volcano. You can tell it's an old volcano. Here's one too. You can see that's not a golf course. No, no, sorry, that's not a golf. It's not a crop circle either. But you can see that we have little volcanoes here on this island of New Zealand. Why am I talking about these? Maybe because they're right next to these earthquakes. This one was a 5.2 to 23. Hiding behind it, you always got to zoom in because there's always something. Lo and behold, there's a 5.4, even bigger, hiding behind it at a depth of 25. So we have just had a 5.4 and a 5.2. Let's make sure these aren't the same. They're 3 minutes apart at different depths. That's like a double scrub energy right there, it looks to me. So 19, 15, 19. Whoa. Come back to me here. 15, 16. And 15, 19. Those are two independent quakes, folks. They're 3 minutes apart and at different depths, different magnitudes. Yeah. So look out in New Zealand. You guys are getting your earthquake activity now. It's going to be rocking and rolling there. And it looks to be the chosen point of release on this side of the deep earthquake, chain. It goes down this way and then up into the system. Ow! You can see it traveling right up it. Right there. It's a 4.5, 193, 5.0, 109, 4.598, 98, sorry, 4.735. Sorry I read it that way, guys. It's just my way of reading off numbers. If the first part is the magnitude, the 35 is the depth. I call off numbers like military time sometimes. Okay. Anyway, 4.735. I want. Ooh, bingo. 4.5 at 118. That just happened? Yeah, it did. Right out there, right on this ridge. Okay, this is the plate boundary. See, it's got the bow in it. Here, let's get in closer, Brian. All right. So it's got this perfect bow shape, the ridge. You see it created one ridge and then created another. This is the buckling of this pushing this way, right? It's coming up against this, and the seafloor is buckling. Well, boom. Right on that buckle point is our latest quake, 4.5, at a depth of 118. All right, so you might see more along this ridge or along this ridge or right here on the plate boundary. There's pressure coming in being released there. Now let's go up to Japan, because look at this. This might be good news for them. 4.458, 4.555. Okay, we're talking energy being scrubbed off on this side of the plate, not on the other boundary, but on this side in that weak zone, all right, just offshore. Okay, this is where all water, the sand is all absorbed with water. Okay, so it's really loose ground and it's weak area and it's subject to quake activity because it's weak area. That's where energy wants to get releases at the weakest point. So we're seeing energy being scrubbed off there. Thankfully, Japan got something they can handle. Nothing too big. This is the new something. 4.7 off the coast of China at a depth of 10. I just want to see something. What is going on here? Is this a big city? Sorry, I just kind of got a peek in here. Not a big city, but there are. That's okay, so that's all populated area. That whole chunk, the whole peninsula, okay. All this is, so yeah, this is their big port area. They're China's, here's what, North and South Korea. So, in this area now, that looks like a warning shot across the bow to China, dude. 4.7. A depth of 10. I think China's being sent a little hint here. But let's just say there's still that pressure that was coming in. Remember, dumped off a 7 here and a 7 there and a 7. All right, so maybe they'll get a 7 too. So I never know. I know God's on the warpath for them. Not for them, but to them. 4.5, depth of 10. They can make it easy on themselves. 4.0, depth of 5. Let me just start kneeling. 4.1, 9.9. Okay. Whoa, here we go. This is what I like to see. 5.7 on the mid-Indian Ridge. All right, so now we're having right here on this ridge line, this tectonic plate zone, a good 5.7. That's a shallow quake, so there's energy now being scrubbed off along this ridge. This is going to relieve pressure that probably came up through this way. It may have come up through this way. So I don't see it really coming back down that well. It could be just lateral push or that way. Anyways, here we are, right on the boundary, right here. Let's go zoom right in on it. Yeah, it's right on it. Okay, I'll take that as close enough. That's right on it. Because you see this, see how it's created this trench right here, cuts across it, and then makes another trench. Ooh, we are not. There we go. See how it creates this trench right here? This red fault line creates this trench. Kind of abruptly jumps over to the other trench. And right where this focal point is, right here, right before the jump, between this focal point and closer to this one, bam, pops off this quake. So that's out in the Indian Ocean. That's energy traveling along this plate. This whole plate just shifted on a 5.7 range. The whole plate now, because as we go back, 5.0, 5.2, boom, it comes down here. This whole plate right here has shifted on a magnitude of 5.7. And that's good at scrubbing off energy, but now that just kind of tells me also that we had just seen major shift in this area right here. So be on the lookout. More earthquakes along this little zone right here off of Malaysia, this island in Java right here. Because see how quiet it is right there right now? This energy just arching over, just coming in. It's not too hard to figure out. There's going to be an earthquake in this area here real soon, or a volcano going off. That's simple. I'm not making predictions. I am just stating. You can see it arching in. You can see it coming in. It fired off a quake over here, right? Well, has it done anything on this line yet? Nope. That's because it's coming. All right. So, shoot, I'll say 5.7 because that's what we have right here on this mid-Indian ridge. Right here, where that last quake swarm was off of this island. Or, no, up here maybe. There's two spots. But possibly right up here where this quake swarm was, you're going to see a 5.7. Or right here. Could be at the apex here in the canal. You're going to see a 5.7 in this region right here real soon. What was this one? This one was 5.0. We still had energy from yesterday. You know what? Let me shift this up real quick because I have to do something real quick. Thank you for your patience. One day, all magnitude. No. 7 days, all magnitude. There we go. Whew. There we go. Sorry, it makes everything all jumbled up, but I need to kind of look at something here. Because we're going into our deep earthquake zone right here in this area, right? We're going to start pulling up some of these. This was not one. That's not one. There's one. That's a 4.2 at a depth of 587. That was on the 20th. That's not one. That's not one. Not one? Oh. They seem to be disappearing. Here's another one. A 4.6 at a depth of 575. Another 4.7 at a depth of 484. And a 4.4 at a depth of 540. So these ones, I believe, right here. Yeah, these ones right here are our deep earthquakes, which aren't too bad. They are in the 4.5 range, 4.6 to 4.2, 4.7 to 4.2 range. That's heading down here. See how it set off these quakes down here? The 7.1 that we had at the Kermadec Islands. Okay. Then it traveled down here and just dumped off these two, right? And this one was from the 20th. So these two are the latest ones right there on the North Island. What was I looking for? Oh, just our deep quakes. So now let me adjust. That's why I wanted to look at this. So all of our deep quakes are 4.5s, let's say on average. And there's 4 of them. And we've already seen some energy being scrubbed off here. That's a 6.3. Yeah. Okay. It's scrubbing off a lot of energy. So as it came over this arch, remember we were looking at it coming over the arch here, right here. Let's take that back. Okay. Alright, so here we are back to the arch dots coming over. Alright. 5. So it's going to be a 4.5 to a 5 right here. Probably from, I don't even think this part of the fault. I think it'll be from this apex point, or right off of here, all the way up here. So this zone right here, it's due for 4.5 to 5, I guess. I'm still going to add that in. 5.7. Yeah, 5.5 maybe right in there. Okay? And that's the reasoning why. Yeah, you guys watch Dutch. He does the same thing, kind of. He's got a little bit different style than me. He's on the right track, too. It's not too hard to figure out. When you take a physics class, geophysics, physics, astrophysics, metaphysics. Learn some kind of physics. Not much going on there. That's just a little mouthful. What's going on up here? New Hampshire had a 2.9, huh? Oh, I bet you those people are rattled. Oh my God, a 2.9! I barely felt it. Did you feel it? Oh yeah, I felt it too. Yeah, that was like scary. Who knows? Down in Texas, 2.6. These are, These are just little quakes at the weak spots of the crust. We know what's going on there. Bing. All right, that's it. Excuse me for yawning. Ooh, excuse me for yawning. I have just started R&R and I already got attacked, and I have yet showered. I finally ate. Got an IV in me at least. What are we doing here, Lord? Oh, that's right. We're doing the weather report. Okay, thank you. I start complaining and I get off course. Alright. Forgive me, Lord, for complaining. I am thankful for my affliction. Alright, you guys know the drill here. I'm gonna step aside while you guys watch the loop, huh? Got your date and time all set up there. Let's see how well our prayers turned out. And you already know how well your prayers turned out. There's so many people alive right now because you guys, those two monster storms did nothing, basically. We're knocking them down, guys. Big ass monsters, okay? For real. Alright, time, date, lift off. Good luck. Put your seatbelt on, folks. Your captain will be right back. Put it on autopilot. And you guys know how to fly? You hop in there and take over. The stewardess, can you entertain the passengers? I've got a parachute out for a smoke. Oh, my God. Thank you, Pain. It reminds me of a life. Besides, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And now I'm falling apart. So we're going to get to the auroras here and the UFOs that were captured, the demon face that was captured, and our paranormal activity that's going on that's captured in the auroras, okay? So that's tonight's gem, and we'll be right back with that. Dang, dude. God. I guess I'll just be thankful for a hot shower for my R&R. Alright, here we go. Oh dear, I wasn't even peeking. Look at that big old thing. Jeez, see what it's doing? Alright, that's the same report basically I gave you guys last night too. That thing didn't change much. So, at the end of this loop, we will start all over and go frame by frame. Wow, another one there at the end. Alright, guys. I'm going to be busy boy. I'm going to need a lot of prayers. I'm just not looking forward to this. Alright, here we go. Here it comes. Yeah, rest and relaxation. So much. My rest and relaxation means a breath in between blows. Boom. Boom. Now we're... Okay, we need to do dates and times. I was stumbling here. As we get into this evening, or tomorrow, this is 7 a.m. this time, 6 a.m. roughly this time, mountain time. And they're going to be waking up to this thunderstorm here, coming off of Colorado into Kansas and Oklahoma. Okay? This is already starting bright and early in the morning. Boom. It moves into Oklahoma by 1 p.m. Oklahoma, southern Kansas, mid-Kansas here. Okay, see this? Down into Texas, too. This is going to blossom during this time of the day. This is the end of convection at 7 o'clock over Oklahoma and Texas, okay? These two spots, anywhere in between, Go over to the other weather channels and watch Max Velocity's report. He did a very brilliant job of analyzing what we're about to see unfold here, okay? So if you don't get enough weather out of this, for me, please go over there to a professional, Andy Hill. Go to Andy Hill. I don't know if he did a report lately, but I saw Max's, and it's worth just kind of eyeballing too. Just add to knowledge, right? Nothing wrong with adding more. Now we're talking the midnight hours. This is 1 a.m. their time. Okay, going into Arkansas, the very corner of Texas here, catching the corner of Louisiana, the corner, it's going right through the zone. Watch as we go from 1 a.m. to 7 a.m. Okay, so they're going to have overnight thunderstorms, nocturnal tornadoes possibly. Do you see the comma shape to this small low right here now? It doesn't have a low attached to it. I'm telling you, that is a small low pressure system right there. And as we go into April 27th, that's early in the morning. Oh, no, that's afternoon, April 7th right there. This is the end of convection, April 27th. Okay? End of convection, I want you to think about this. End of convection on April 27th. That's what, the day after tomorrow. Yeah, day after tomorrow. I'm used to doing my reports at the wee hours, so I have to look at the clock to see what time it is. What date it is. Oh, my God. You lose track of days when you've been out for... Anyways, Alabama, Georgia, right here. Bullseye. Okay? That area, all into Florida, too. This could be anywhere in this zone, all right? This is very volatile. It could pop off, maybe not here. It might be delayed a little bit. It might go south a little bit. It could go north a little bit. It could be... So go over to Max Volume. Watch his report as well. I'm just doing a quick little slap job of the weather together here from the GFS model here. Okay, here's that low finally being defined right there. See it? Then it starts to head north on the 28th. This is the end of convection on the 28th. You see pop-up stuff way out here in the ocean. There's a small chance right in there. Everything seems to have kind of branched off the ocean, but into the night on the 28th, it goes up into Canada. Early morning the 29th, it's up into Canada, and it starts to rotate. This is 2 in the afternoon. There's 7 p.m. Okay, the end of convection right there. This low has wrapped up in this, see this comma shape right here, and it has a double tail. All right. This double tail is pulling moisture along here. See, this tail is looping back, and it's separated, but here's the energy at the very tip of the dragon's tail, kind of, and it's hitting Mississippi, Alabama, the Gulf Coast right here at the end of convection, 7 p.m., 8 p.m. this time, or that time, 8 p.m. their time there. 11 p.m. Pacific. This is 2 in the morning. It branches off, and it goes right up into up into New Hampshire, New York area. That's 7 a.m. the 30th. See how the residual moisture hangs out down here? Then this is this thing congeals back together. Do you see how it did that? Look, it was all broken apart and dysfunctional, kind of finishing off New York, right? But then, boom, it congeals back together and rotates again and pulls up more moisture here. So, 8 a.m. the 30th, 2 p.m. the 30th. Georgia, Florida, 2 p.m. the 30th. 7 p.m. the end of convection on the 30th. You see the strength of this storm, right? how it's pulling this moisture, dragging it along, going through Florida. It has all these pop-ups going up along the mountains and stuff in there too. Okay, so watch up in those areas. You're gonna have high amounts of water, thunderstorms right there, all coming downhill in the Appalachian area in there. Okay, on 7 p.m. late, the end of convection on April 30th. Okay, boom. Then as we go into the night of the April 30th, this is 2 in the morning. It gets nasty out there. It's sneaking in. You wake up to this. You see how tight these isobars, these millibars are here? Please, Lord. Scroll. That's right. Okay. I didn't want to lose it. I had to do it right. You see how tight these millibars are on the back side and right here on the front side right here? That's the high winds, okay? So this is going to be a high wind, lots of moisture, hail, thunderstorms, all just anywhere embedded in this, okay? This is very volatile. It could change, right? So as we pull back here, scroll. Thank you, bro. Let me get it right centered. There we go. That's about as good. So now we're moving forward. This is now 2 p.m. East Coast time on May 1st. Okay, and this thing has just demolished this region and is still picking up moisture and still doing its thing. There's the end of convection on May 1st. It's moved offshore. It's circled back up here into Canada, and it's still bringing stuff up into Maine, but that monster has finally passed by May 1st. Mayday. Mayday. Monster is passed. Mayday. Monster is passed. They might be singing Mayday, Mayday, help us. We just got... Yeah. Uh-oh. So April 30th, this comes in. I know how God works. He's going to do something here. Bang. Because he wants him to wake up May 1st, calling Mayday. So, pray for the people of the West Coast. This is the wrath right here. I'm going to explain to you who's in control of the weather here real quick. Okay? Anyways, it's not the government. They're trying to manage the best they can the veracity that's being unleashed. Let's just say they're control management. Oh, whoa. I almost look like a face, 2 eyes, and this evil grin. You see it? 2 eyes, and he's growling at the East Coast. I'm just playing around. Okay, that's the end of our weather report. No, it's not. We did not even finish. My bad. So, that was just the first storm. Okay, now, as we go on, you see how that thing did a loop and came back out? And finally clears out. The rest of the country kind of clears behind it. This low pops in here. We have these. Texas is going to have this week-long event here, down here, moisture after moisture. We have another low forming there. Uh-oh, that low right there, do you see what it's doing? It's spinning and collecting all that other stuff. It's going to form. Boom. And that's all off the coast, but look, it's probably going to whip back around, back onto land a little bit, bring stuff back around. High winds again on this day. This is going to be, let's back up again, right when we see right about there. So that's bright and early May 6th, okay? 7 a.m. May 6th, this low finally gets defined, starts to wrap up and take a spinning type effect. You see it gathering a tail. Right here, this will be the end of convection on 7 p.m. on May 6th. And we have what looks like a 3 almost right there. But This low has come down like this. It has moisture popping up in front of it. The low band is like right here. This other moisture is pop-up moisture that's being brought up, and this is the dangerous situation right here. When you have this kind of a low that's drawing, it's spinning, right? So it's drawing moisture up, and it drew moisture up in front of it. Let's pray this changes, because that moisture band out in front of it is the dangerous stuff that has the storms, the tornadoes. You see it winding up, and as it does, it pulls the stuff together, intensifies it, slams it all together as it's doing like a wind up for a pitch. I might have to step aside. Maybe not. Let's just keep going. All right, you see the big comma effect right here. Okay, that's May. That's the end right there. That's another convection moment. That's May 7th. Okay, and there's a big 7 right there. So boom, boom. Watch out for May 7th in New York. This whole area right here. I know how God works with numbers, especially the number 7. Okay, and the word Mayday. So I would watch out for these next 2 storms. Really, I would. There, no more games being played. This is all spiritual warfare right now going on. I wish you guys could step foot into it like I do, so you would see the seriousness of what is going on. But I'm sure soon here you will have no choice but to. That's it. Now, what are we doing? Say what? Yes. Yeah. Okay. All right. Real quick here. Ow. Please pull this up, Lord. That's not what you wanted. Let's do it again. There we go. Video pause. Yes, I would like to continue it. Can you continue it? See these images that in this this music channel that I get some of our music from. They have some awesome images in there as well. Come on, go full screen. What is your problem? I did not hit play. I was trying to go full screen. Okay, well, I guess we are not taking an intermission and going to play a little music with one of these pictures in the background. Yes, we are. Yeah, so much for the image. But did you see the wave and the riders up at the top of the crest of the wave? And I can find that image again. If we could ever get this to reload, thank you. No. Oh, that's why their commercial was so important to get in there. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. All right, let's just freeze frame on this real quick. I wanted to zoom in on it. Oh, I guess we can't. But you can see these riders on horses up here. Oh, there it goes. Finally. It's a very good artwork here. And then up here in the clouds, you can see riders forming in the clouds and stuff. This is stuff you're going to start seeing. Faces in the waves, faces in the clouds, battle scenes in the clouds like this. Sounds bizarre, but it's really what's going on in the spiritual realm. And why is this? This is not the one video I wanted, but let's go back here. I wanted to get a song pulled up. I need to step outside and see what happened there. Boy, where did it go? Yeah, right here. All right. I'll put a little music on right there, and then check out that image. Okay, because that's what it's like. Okay, I feel like this guy all alone getting attacked and just taking on all these demons, dragons, craziest stuff that from the spiritual realm that you just wouldn't. I'm going to show you tonight, right after this. Music. All right, hold that thought right there. Quick intermission, and then we'll be back with the gem. It's going to be the stuff caught in the auroras tonight, so hang in there. Hopefully that motivates you guys a little bit to fight for your freedom. All right, let's get back to this report now. All right, you guys, here we go. So we were checking out the auroras, right? And what I was going to show you is something that Mr. MBB on his channel captured. One of his viewers sent in a picture, a very, very vital picture. Whoever captured this image was on it. They captured it just the right time, too. It's all about timing when you capture these events. And what you can see here is basically the face of Lucifer in the sky with diamonds, all right? Here's his eye, his long nose, like Pinocchio. He's a liar, so he has a long nose. He's got this crooked smile right here. Here's his chin with his beard, horns coming up, okay? And then his ears branch out into another dimension that pokes into the green right here, okay? And I know for a fact because I have seen this face before, all right? And it happened a couple of years ago, and I've done several videos on this face here as well. Now, can you see the long nose, the beard, the pointed ears extending way out? Okay, see the one on this side? Let's go back to the other image. See the one on that side? Okay, see the nose? Let's get this a little bit. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play this video just a tad bit more because it gets a smaller image. Alright, there's the smaller image right there. Okay, and what I want to do is just blow this one up a little bit instead. And we'll focus on this because it's a tighter dimension. It's further back. Okay, but you can see the eye. Okay, this is a little bit further back. We already saw the eye. Now you can see how the face and the head branch out into the other dimension. See the ear poking out right there. Okay, that's the same face. That's the same face, the same entity. All right, and I know this entity well. All right, I have to battle this guy all day, all night, all the time. All right, and this is a cloud. Let me back out of this a little bit. I want you to see something else here. Okay, there were several pictures that I took of this event. Okay, first of all, it popped out from behind this tree and peeked out at me. So I took this first picture. All right, peekaboo. So let's zoom in on this. This is the first picture. Okay, you can see his eye right here and his other eye on this side. The mouth open with a row of teeth in it. Okay, look at this row of teeth. They're there. Okay, you see the beard hanging down below his chin. Okay, see the big long nose. Now he has two eyes on this side. Let's zoom in. Do you see this eye right here? As well as this eye right here, the main eye, but then there's a secondary one right here in this image. Okay? That's when he's peeking out from behind the tree. He's watching me with this side little eye right here. The whole face is staring kind of to my left, but this little eye on the side right here is looking right at me. Okay? It has two eyes. The main one right here that's looking down is part of the face, but this one on the side is kind of peering off, looking directly at me. Okay? So you can see that. See, it's an entity, and it dropped down from the regular level of the clouds way up higher. Okay, you see these streaks up here? So we're going to go back to the next photo. It's very similar. Okay, it's still got the secondary eye. It's still got the teeth. Okay, let's back out of that one. Let's go to this one. Here is where it shows it best, dropping down from the other cloud level, okay? And in this one, the eye on the side is kind of faded now, but the pupil on this side is more defined. All right, let's get some clarity here. Well, right about there. Okay, so it does have pupils. These are real eyes, okay? And now for the teeth, I want you guys to see something. Ooh, that's as tight as it's going to let me get it. Then I will have to do this. So bear with me. Actually, let's just take the whole tripod and try these upper teeth. They're actually little ghostly squared off teeth. It's not capturing it. Alright, well, let's try the next image. Maybe I'm zoomed in too hard or something. But there's real teeth in there. You can see them. They're sectioned off. There's real gaps in between them. You can see the road teeth down below. Okay? But this one, you can see how much it's dropped down from the sky. It's way lower in the sky than any of the rest of the clouds. That's what made this thing pop out, right? And then when it's got a face, listen, when you ever try to draw a face, it's really hard to get it anatomically correct, All right, the odds of having the eyes positioned just right with the nose, with a mouth according, and ears according, the odds of all that gelling and coming together into a collaborative face is more than pareidolia. This is not pareidolia. This is an actual entity in the clouds popping down from the sky. All right, it's time to quit denying and trying to give excuses that this is just pareidolia or something like that, because this space continues to evolve and change, right? And it's the same spirit as this, okay? It is a goat. It's the goat man. It's the devil. It's Satan. It's Lucifer. And there he is, right there. He showed up in the aurora, okay? This is a sign from God. I can tell you right now, I was led to this image. Okay, when God takes me by the hand and leads me to an image and shows me the face that I have already been haunted by over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, you see this face every day, and then you see it in the aurora. It's obvious what's going on. I face this gentleman every second of every day. All right, so then, oh, here comes the good stuff. So, we see the faces here. Now, something else I wanted to show you is this face. Okay? And let's first, before we even go into it, let's just zoom in real quick, because I found something different that I want to try. Okay. You probably already cheated, saw it, and now you're freaked out. Anyways, I want to try something backwards. Hopefully you guys can see this eye right here. There's a pupil, the whites of the eye going around this eye right here. There's another eye right here, okay? It's not as defined, but you can see the whites around it, right? Then, as I pull back, I want you to keep eye contact with those two eyes. You see the face with the nose and the lips. Recognize that ear again. See if we can pull this down a little bit. You see the horns kind of going up into the clouds up in here? All right. And do you see him huffing and puffing and blowing? All right. Do you see him blowing? This is who's in control of the weather. All he has to do is make a little huff or a puff, and a storm comes up anywhere it wants to. And it can go away anywhere it wants to. Because man is not in control of the weather. The weather is a byproduct of the spiritual world. Okay? Let me get this nice and crystal clear for you guys. I don't want there to be any mistakes of what you're looking at. This is a real image captured by me. In fact, let's just go dissect this whole event, shall we? This was the last picture in a series of 4 pictures. While this event was going on, there was a wolf in the sky. Okay? This is the first picture of the wolf. Now, in this image, the other eye is more defined. Can you see how defined the other eye is in this image? Then the other eye over here. And as we pull back, there's the set of eyes. You can see the wolf's ear, inside of his ear, okay? You can see his snout coming down, the black nose on the tip. You can see his mouth open, his fangs sticking down, and it's the big bad wolf huffing and puffing. He's blowing first, all right? First, it starts off as the big bad wolf. You can see the other eye over here. See this? Okay? See the eyes of the wolf? Guys understand who you're dealing with? This shit happens over me for a reason. Okay? First, it starts off as the wolf. Hopefully you can see this wolf. Let's go on to the next wolf picture here, because it gets a little bit different each one. Now you can see that this eye has gone more vertical slit, right? Can you see the vertical slit in that eye now? Okay, and this eye has become more defined now, hasn't it? Then as we pull back from those two eyes, you can see the snout. It's got a big gaping wound underneath its eye. That whole section is the head wound of the beast. Okay, you can see this eye get more defined. You can see the ear over here. Let me pull it out of that box area. All right, you see the ear getting more defined over there. Okay, so the big bad wolf is in town. Okay, let's go down to this one. This one, here, let me click on it. There we, come on. Lord, please. Thank you. Sometimes I have to pray on every little move I make, and I haven't been doing that, so that's why things aren't going correctly. Now you can see this eye is starting to fade a little bit, but this eye now is morphing and becoming more defined. It's now becoming an eye down here. See it growing right there? See how the eye has shifted down from the wolf eye? Now it's growing a different eye down there. Now also, look at the snout. See these nostrils? It's turning it more to a dragon type wolf with dragon nostrils. Still the eye, the wolf ear, and everything, okay? Can you see that? See the mouth? Like the two nostrils, the big teeth coming down to the dragon right here. If it were a dragon mouth. And it's huffing and puffing too. So we got the wolf, the dragon, and then it all blends together. Wait, there's one more right here. Now this eye over on this side is more defined. Starting to see it better now. Now you get at least two eyes you can see at the moment there before we lose this one a little bit. Okay, then as we pull back, see how it's changing? This snout is kind of dwindling and it's starting to grow a nose right here. Then in our final frame is all three of them in one. The dragon, the wolf, and the devil. All three in one, huffing and puffing, blowing. It caused a huge thunderstorm that day. There were flash floods. I saw this happen in the sky. I was at the skate park with my kids. I said, we're going to have to go here soon, guys. And they're like, why? I said, we'll see that cloud over there. And they said, oh, it doesn't look too bad. So, well, trust me, we're going to have a storm here soon. Okay? And you see the ear? Can you see that pointed ear? It's the same ear here. It's the same ear here. Whoops. Here. Okay? It's the same entity. It's the devil. The devil is here. Okay? Jesus is here. He's been here for a while. And nobody appreciated the gift. And now something has happened in the spiritual realm. And we have a bisecting face like this. With evil on one side. See the ear coming up over here? Here, let me just, I've shown you this one before without the, this is it without the filter. Okay? Oops. I just want to move it around a little bit, Lord. Can I? Guess I can't. Anyways, this is the unfiltered version. Here's an eye. Here's an eye. The face is bisected down the middle. It's got a goblin or an evil entity on one half. The other half is like a, almost like a Ewok or almost like a Wolverine type character. Can you see the the furry brow coming up like this, with the eye right here. All right, see this face is bisected. It's two entities in one face. One half is like the Wolverine, the other half is this evil little goblin thing. All right, and when this happened, I was at the skate park and I walked away to take some pictures, and a little bit later, I feel a tap on my shoulder, and there's a cop standing next to me, and he says, "I got reports of there's a guy taking pictures of the sky." And I said, "Well, yeah, can I help you?" He goes, "Well, what are you taking pictures of?" I said, "Well, I'm taking pictures of the clouds." He says, "Oh, really? Well, what's so interesting about the clouds?" I said, "Well, if I told you, you wouldn't believe me." So he turns, looks up at this face, and this face growled at him. You remember the face I showed you that spits lightning and growls? This didn't spit any lightning, but it growled at him. And I thought this cop was going to draw his gun at the skate park and start shooting at the sky. I'm like, oh no, here it goes. But he looks straight at this face. This face growls at him. And he turns and looks at me and goes, looks like there's a storm coming. I said, "Yeah, buddy, there's a storm coming, all right. Yeah, there's a storm coming, all right. Man, it's too bright. Maybe that's a little bit better there. You see that face? And I got the filtered image on my channel, but while we were here, I figured I'd stop at that one, okay? Now let's get on to these UFOs in the auroras, you guys. All right, I did a little stream on this earlier today, and let's just find, where's that spot with the tree? And it was right around here, I think, somewhere. Let's just pop in here. I think it's right around here. Yeah, it's after this tree. Okay, let me get this all set up because it's all about the tinting and the lighting and everything like that. All right, so it's right after this, and we're going to pause right on it. Boom. All right, this event right here captured, what is it? Just a weather cam or whatever, one image every hour, stop motion, not stop motion. I'm sorry. You guys know what I'm talking about. Anyways, in this event, our UFO is hiding right here, okay? It's cloaked. It uses an electromagnetic force field to bend light, okay? But that electromagnetic force field also attracts the ions from these auroras. And watch as these auroras reach out, and attack this, or not attack this, but strike this object, glowing around the object. The object itself will actually get hit by a CME and brushed further in. So we're going to play this real quick at normal speed, and then we'll dissect it by slowing it down. So here's our object. See the little cloud? Alright, so let's go back a little bit. Well, I want to go back, Laura. Or did I go too far? No, it's right there. Alright, so. Oh, I'm hitting the wrong button, that's why. Alright, so here's our event coming up right here. Whoops. Right here. Boom. Okay. Again, our object is right about here, okay? And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to slow this down as much as we can. All the way down as much as we can. And then I'm going to play this, and I want you to watch this object keep getting draped with the aurora. It paints the target. It actually at one point pushes the UFO down, and when everything clears, it has a little cloud because the electromagnetic frequencies cause the water vapor to condense into a little cloud. So watch. Okay, it's striking it right. See, it'll loop around the object. Let's just let it play a couple times without my fat hand in the way. There's the cloud. There's the object. See that one kind of brush it and push it down? It's almost as if God took the little hand and gave it a scoot. Then there's another one back here over this mountain, and we will go dissect that one as well. All right, so why is this still? Oh, there we go. So, very beginning of this event, again, let's try and get it as best as we can. And then one at the end comes down and strikes it right at the last frame, right there. Oh, I missed it. Let me go back a little bit. See that? It comes down to make contact with it again. It's right here. So let me back this up again. It's kind of hard to see, so we're going to have to play it a few times. But it's right here. You see it striking the object. It wraps around. It makes, right there, it wrapped around it. Okay, now here it is. It's still sitting in that cloud right there. See it give it a little nudge? Now watch more aurora wraps around it. It's a UFO. And then it gets struck at the end there. All right, that's God painting these targets. They're invisible, but just like the target, just like the invisible spheres next to the sun, what drapes over them? Plasma. Here's the same effect here on Earth. Plasma draping over an invisible object, painting the target. Now wait until I speed it up here. I'm just doing slow motion for a second so you can see visually where the target is. And then when we put it back at normal speed, you will see how this plasma interacts with this object. Okay, and then there's another one back here over this mountain, and we will dissect that one as well. You see that back there? That's the mothership back there. Okay, so I'm sorry it took so long to get to this, but this is we're going to have to just sit here and dissect this over and over and over again until we get it just right. So now I'm going to bump up the speed a little bit more. Let's go 0.5 and hit it. Okay, now watch it just a tad bit better. Okay, now let's go back a couple more times to that one, and then I'm going to point out the other incident going on over this mountain in the back. Because this one is pretty clear. The other one's a little harder to see. Okay, so one more time. Actually, this time, let's speed it up even more. Oops, not that way. That way? This way. Let's go 0.75 of normal. Okay. So you guys can now. All right. Now let's pause it right there. I'm going to adjust the speed back down to slow again, and we're going to focus on our other object in the background. Okay, because this is the disturbing part now. Alright, so where are we here? Let's just play. Okay, now do you notice how these mountains are lighting up? The slopes are actually lighting up. There's an object that's hovering over this mountain, and watch the auroras go around it. Do you see the black UFO disc floating right there above at the very end? It's like the same shape as the mothership in Close Encounters. It's the exact same shape as it. I went too far. All right, something else. Notice how the slope illuminates down here. So watch how the mountainside lights up. Do you see that? Now watch, the object is sitting there. Now aurora goes around it, drapes over it, and it'll make a black. See the shape of it right in there? I'm going to try to my best to. It's really hard to get that one frame, but we'll get it. See how it lightened up the slopes up there? The ski slopes are lighting up there. And that ship has been sitting there the whole time. Ooh, almost. Alright, right about there. This image doesn't do it justice when it's actually moving, but there's the cone-shaped bottom to it. It has a flat bottom. It comes up. There's a disc shape. This isn't the frame. Right there. There it is. Right there. We got lucky. Alright. Let me, Lord, can we zoom in more on this? Let's just try this effect instead. I'll scoot this up a little bit. Pull this back a lot. Okay, it's right here. You can see this black shadow of the ship right here. Okay, here's like the main disc part going across the middle. It comes down, tapers down, has a flat bottom, then it has the big spiring capital thing up on the top. And watch this shape now. Watch how the plasma reacts to this shape as we play this. See it there? That's a big ship, and it's hovering over the mountain. This is almost like a scene from Close Encounters. This is almost like Devil's Tower. I almost wonder what the name of this mountain is. Is it like Mount Diablo or something like that? Because this big giant mothership is hanging out over it, and the aurora is draping over it, painting the target. Okay? And here's the other UFO right here, sitting in this cloud. Okay, so there's one here, and when you come over to this, I'll try to put the link to this in the description. I will put the link to this in the description, and you can come over here and dissect it. There are multiple UFOs in the background. Okay, you see them flicker with the auroras. Now that you know what to look for, you will see that there is an armada in the sky. And this aurora paints the entire armada. Whoops. Let me go back to the very beginning. Alright, so it's after this event. Let me pull back. I want you to get the whole screen so you can see the whole armada possibly. Because I'm not going to point them all out, but just watch closely. There's one's back up in here. There's one's over in there. There's one up in here. So wherever you see those dark spots, you'll see this stuff drape around, and you'll see the dark spots. They they're creepy. They're just sitting there in the dark. They're dark compared to everything else. And everybody's looking at the light, right? Their eyes are attracted to the light, not the dark. Nobody's looking for dark patches in this stuff, right? But watch carefully. Just pick a UFO and watch it. And our vent in the back. See, there's ones up in there. They're actually kind of guiding this show. They're funneling where the energy goes. It's like they're choreographing it or something. It's obviously attracted to their ships. The cloaking mechanism or whatever is attracted to their ships, right? You see that how it just comes along like a hand. The hand of God comes along and scoots it aside. Doesn't it look like something out of a fucking cartoon? Look at this. Oh yeah, Kenley, you can send me your stuff. Send it to bnightusa@gmail.com. All lowercase bnightusa@gmail.com. So, when you're sitting here looking at this aurora footage, there's all kinds of crazy stuff going on in it. All right, not every shot has it, but something else I needed to show you. Oh, now, with that being shown, where is this? All right, so this is from the aurora event, okay? Then also captured was, where to go? Ooh, what was that? I almost looked like a dragon right there. No, 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 no. Oh, you do that, you get an ad. See what happens when you try to do something? You get an ad. All right, back to where I was looking here. Look at that. Almost looks like a dragon or some kind of dove or something. That's not the one I wanted, though. I wanted the dove of peace because it showed up. Where is the dove of peace one? Nope. There it is, right there. Okay. I'm going to tint this out a little bit. Now can you see the dove of peace right there? You can make out its head, its beak, its wings. Okay, right here. Wing, wing. Here's the head, the beak. I'll try to pull this in. Okay. And it is part of this structure. Okay, now we tint back out. You can see that it is a cross-type structure in the sky. Also looks like an angel with its wings spread as well. You know, this would be the top of the cross. There's a wing spread. Almost looks like it has white horns or whatever. The gown coming down. The dove is part of the wing. Okay. Then when we tint it out, there's the dove of peace right over the heart, right? Oh no, we go on the other side. But there are multiple images in multiple dimensions, and this is another sign from God. He loves to use these auroras to do his handiwork. All right, and that, I am telling you, is another sign because I was hand guided to it. I recognize his handiwork, especially when he kind of takes me by hand. Come here, let's see this. Okay, let's see. What do you got for me? Check this out, Brian. Look what I did. And I'm like, wow, you are amazing. All right, now let's report on it. Okay, how are we going to do this? Well, tint it out for them, Brian, so they can see it like that. Pull it back forward, Brian, so they can see this part of it. If you really see, there's probably some kind of head in here with halo white horns. It says a lot. To me, I know exactly what it says. Okay, so interesting, very interesting. And then this image, no, where'd it go? No, it's more at the front, I believe. Oh. No. It's right here. Okay. This image to me is just an ominous image. It looks like a giant holding a spear. Here's his head. He has these big broad shoulders come down, boom, his big shadow, and he's holding a big old spear right here. And that was captured in the aurora, okay? These are all signs. Let's tint it out, see if there's anything hiding else in there. Is there a sickle or a scythe? Are we like looking up his cloak and this is his face up here? No. No, it's more like this is the head and shoulders up here. And it's a shadow. There's another warrior standing behind him holding a shield or something. And that's in the aurora, you guys. Alright? That's a regular image out of the aurora. So all kinds of signs captured in the auroras. Alright? Every time there is one, go out there, try to capture it, get your footage, get the best stuff you can. Oh, what was this? I just saw a dragon right here. Eyes, mouth open or something? Where did that go? Is that the image I just saw? Yeah, that's it. Never mind. And that was on April 23rd. Okay, that was the year anniversary. What is this one? Oh, that's a cool one right there. And this is all dark purple back behind the clouds. The sky looks dark purple behind the clouds. Let's see if we can get the tint of what the color of this picture is, really. Yeah, that's what it really looks like, kind of. This is just this weird purple, like that right there behind the cloudy moon. That's a good shot. Anyways, all kinds of good shots. You guys got, if you see any of these good shots, or you see anything spiritual hidden in any of these, ooh, there's a face right there. Boom, 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 nose kind of. All right. I'm talking good clear ones, though, that you can see like this right here. If you any other stuff that we capture that's along those lines, you can send it to bnightusa@gmail.com. If it's good, we'll put it on the air and you can get credit if you want. You can stay anonymous if you prefer. But, okay. Oh man, this is just not capturing the quality again. So we'll go backwards just a tad bit here to, oh, there it is. That's a lot better right there. Okay, that, whoopsie, compared to this guy right here. Same dude. The devil is here. Alright, woe to the inhabitants of the earth, for the devil is now here. Alright? Pretty trippy, huh? And we're capturing, this is almost, boom, eyes, nose, mouth looking down right here. So he's using clouds and he's using auroras, all kinds of faces, scenes in the clouds, apocalyptic scenes. Sometimes this red will be incorporated as like a part of an explosion or something like that. So look for scenes like that that you might capture. Or even beautiful scenes like, you know, these ones here. This one's cool with the cabin behind it. Alright, so come over to When the Earth is Angry. That's this whole clip. Go over to MBB. Check out his work as well. There's a lot of stuff that we have to hash through to find this character or any other references, signs from the Bible in the auroras now, okay? And UFO activity in the auroras as well. So, quite the report tonight. I still have time to go back to battle, so I must cut it short. Oh no. Yeah. I'm gonna have a long night tonight, so I'm gonna go take a hot shower, eat something, and get geared up. Maybe I'll do a 3 in the morning live stream or something if something comes up in the meantime. But for now, there's the headlines right there. Homeboy is back in town, okay? And he is the one who is in control of the weather. That's why praying about the weather is so vital. We are praying for this guy to calm down or to tame this guy right here, all right? And I need your help. So, everybody pray for each other, pray for the weather, pray for strength for each other, pray for endurance for each other, tolerance of each other, okay? Be tolerant of each other, be accepting of each other. Not all of us are perfect, we all have flaws. So if you can accept your own flaws, then learn to accept others, forgive them, and try to get along the best you can for this last period of time that we have. This is the battle, is fighting to keep your composure in the middle of madness, okay? Controlling your fear, relying on God to give you the strength to pull you through, okay? Because that's the real battle. You guys are real warriors in a real spiritual battle. You're cutting me off? I'm back? Okay, good. I keep telling you this over and over again because it's the truth. We're getting down to some gritty times right now. Things are going to start getting ugly. Where is your strength going to come from? It has to come from the Lord. It has to come from Jesus, okay? That's where it comes from. And I will show you him. We'll close out with Jesus here. We don't need to look at that guy closing out. We've seen enough of his ugly mug today, haven't we? Everybody say, yeah, get out of here. We don't need to see your ugly mug anymore. I want to close with favorites. There it is. I'm verifying it right now. We will close with this one. Okay. That's Jesus with his crown turning into a lion. All right, captured on Easter of 2020. Jesus has been here for a while. Okay, this is the gift that he gave. He gave it to me to give to you. All right? You're seeing the real deal. I keep showing this over and over and over again because this is the most important information we have had in the last 2,023 years. Okay? This is a miracle that you are looking at. This is a promised sign in the Bible to bring hope at this period of time in history when things are about to get quite interesting, we'll say. And for some of you who have a weak stomach, it might get ugly. But this is where we build character, okay? It's at the end like this. Ugh. How much pain can you endure without complaining? I mean, I still complain. I try not to. I just try to deal with it. Roll on and take care of others the best you can these last few days. If you're a true servant of God, you serve others. You're not a selfish person. You don't even do stuff for yourself. You forget to do stuff for yourself because you're so busy doing it for others, right? If that's you should be, reaching or achieving that type of spirituality, okay? Selfless instead of selfish, okay? It's time to sacrifice your work. Y'all die in the end anyways, right? Everybody dies eventually anyways, right? So are you going to do something productive during your lifetime? So when we go into your life review, it's not going to be this embarrassment. You're going to have some kind of productivity, some kind of spiritual growth during the whole time you were down here. Okay? Even if it's at the very end. Remember the thief on the cross? He was saved at the very last moment. And he barely knew Jesus for what? Just a brief moment there. And that's all it takes. Okay? That's why I keep bringing this stuff to you. It's a battle, and there's your faith. It's the Lion of Judah. Jesus returned as promised. Been here for a while. Okay? And now we have the devil here too. This is a spiritual war taking place on earth in the physical realm. And I have to go. We just had enough. That's it for now. I love you all. Gotta go. Bye. Until my next live stream, I'll be back. I am back. Bye. Shit. Gotta go. Bye.